These people are mad because you choose to live a softer life and they don't like that. See, there are some people, when you choose to live a softer life, they are not going to receive you. The idea of a woman choosing to live a life where she can rest her body, her mind, her spirit, where she's not constantly hustling and running around. There are some people who get very jealous and envious of a woman's choice to live a softer life. Before I get right into that, I want to say what a soft life is and what it is not. Having a soft life is not endless luxury. It is not being able to spend all of this money going on extravagant vacations. It is not really even about money per se, even though money is a part of it. Living a softer life is having the ability to rest when you need to, not feeling like you're going to miss out on money or opportunities if you do rest, being able to do the things that you want to do and not just what you need to do, and also spending time being able to nurture not just your finances, but your mind, your body, and your spirit. So when it comes to living a softer life as a woman, not everybody is going to have that luxury, or not everybody chooses that luxury. Now, when it comes to jealousy and envy amongst women, when a woman is able to live a more softer life, she has curated her life in a way where she can align with that more feminine softness. There are a lot of women who will not like that. They will mistreat you for the simple fact that you get to rest. They will mistreat you, show jealousy and envy towards you. They will treat you as if you are nothing simply because you are able to do some of the things that they themselves are not able to do. When it comes to jealousy and envy because you are attempting or you live a more softer life, number one, people who are jealous and envious of your soft life, they will always make their issues and their life's choices your problem. A woman who sees you being able to rest in the middle of the day, or maybe you don't work as much and you're still able to do the things you need to do. A woman who is jealous and envious of your life, she will act like you are a problem simply because you are not as stressed, overworked, and overburdened as she is. She will be envious of your relationship if you are in a relationship with a man who's able to take care of you, at least financially or a majority financially, and you're able to rest. Jealousy and envy will set in for that purpose. This is the reason why a lot of women, they don't like the idea of other women talking about rest. They try to make you feel like you're lazy or as if you're not ambitious or as if you're not grown simply because you don't want to be overstimulated and overworked. So these people are mad because you chose to live a softer life, and that choice has them very jealous and envious of you. When women don't understand that they have a choice in how they choose to live, and I'm not saying this from judgment, I'm saying this as a woman who has lived this kind of experience, not realizing that I did not have to follow the stereotypical way of being for a woman, especially for a woman of color. I didn't necessarily have to work myself into exhaustion, but because I felt that my importance and my identity was tied to being exhausted, to being tired, to being ran down and stressed, because I was trying to wear the cape of the rest of us and wanting to fit into society standards for what a black woman is supposed to be, I followed that lie up until it almost took me out of here. I say that to say that there are some women, a lot of the choices they make that make their own life very hard is because they don't want people to see them as lazy. They don't want people to see them as not ambitious. They're constantly trying to keep up with other people while you are trying to curate a soft life and not be overstimulated, overworked, and stressed out. And they don't understand that. So these people are mad because you choose to live a softer life. You refuse to allow life to harden you and make you stressed out. And they hate that for you. There are some women, they wear stress and aggravation like a badge of honor. And when they come across women who do not wear that same badge, they have envy and resentment towards those women. When a woman sees that another woman is taking time to pamper herself, and when I say pamper herself, I don't mean that you are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on beauty treatments. you could be going into the dollar store, you could be going into, a drifting store to get cute clothes. You could be going to places like TJ Maxx, Burlington, and Ross in order to get like good quality hair care products and, some aesthetically pleasing kind of trinkets and makeup and things like that. I say luxuries where you actually take time to get the things that are going to make you feel beautiful and feminine as a woman. Now, when a woman who does not have that same priority sees you doing those things, don't be surprised at the catty nature that you get from her. There's nothing worse for a jealous, envious, tired, and overworked woman than to see another woman resting comfortably in her feminine energy. Now, that is not to say that maybe you don't work, maybe you don't do things, you have responsibilities, but it's all in the way you're choosing to do it. See, a woman that does not put other people first all the time, she's the kind of woman that has no problem curating a life of softness for herself. And when some people see that you do that, that you're not completely selfless, that you're not neglecting yourself in order to please other people constantly, they can grow very jealous and envious of that. So these people are mad because you choose to live a softer life. They don't want to see you living soft because they don't do it. See, another thing that sparks jealousy and envy in some people when it comes to women trying to live a more softer life, not being overworked, stressed out, and ran down, it's because in doing so, you are showing people that you prioritize yourself. There have been so many people who try to make women feel guilty for making themselves a priority, because for so long, women were taught that in order for us to be seen as valuable, we always have to be catering and nurturing to other people. The idea of a woman doing something for herself and herself only, that is almost abnormal to some people. You see, a woman who does not understand that you can live a soft life, whether you work, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single, you can do things that say, I love myself and I take care of myself. But when a woman does not recognize that, she will begin to be jealous and envious of the woman who does just that. The woman who doesn't mind, taking a sick day or calling out of work so that way she can just catch up on her rest or go to the spa or go to the gym. Or the woman that has the discipline to say that while I work, I'm not going to let this job ruin me, so I'm still going to take care of my health. Living a more softer life is understanding that you have more control over your circumstances than you realize. And for some people, because they have allowed society, because they have allowed the economy, because they have allowed other people's fears to dictate how they're going to be as a woman, women who don't still have that same kind of bond or that same kind of attachment to fear like some women do, they get very jealous and envious of the fact that you're not afraid of everything. You're not afraid of, okay, I got to make sure I kiss my boss's backside, otherwise I'm not going to have a job. I got to make sure I say yes all the time, otherwise they're not going to like me. I got to make sure I'm doing this all the time, otherwise this. Women who lean more into their feminine softness have no such concern. You are not worried about whether or not people are going to dislike you because you are not willing to constantly be their servant. You don't care if people dislike you or look at you as if you're some kind of airhead or you're not, smart, because you focus on other things than just heavy life's challenges all the time. I remember speaking to someone a while ago and they were telling me how, they're just too busy. They don't have time to watch TV. They don't watch the news. They don't do this. They don't do that. In other words, they were trying to say that because they don't watch TV, they're more important than me. Because they're always working and striving and doing things that are very, very exhausting and overstimulating, that makes them more of a woman than I am. Or at least that's what I got out of it. See, women who find their worth and their value in constantly hustling, grinding, and making sure they're overworked, exhausted, and tired, if they enjoy that kind of thing, wonderful. But not every woman enjoys that. And there are some women even if they have to partake in that kind of way of being, they still make time to live softer. They still make time to do those things that keep them in touch with their femininity. They still find time to do the things to break up the monotony in the day. So these people are mad because you are not overstimulated or overworked. You choose to live a more softer life, and there are some people who do not like that. Another thing that a woman does when she chooses to live a softer life, she pays hyper attention to her spirituality and her mental health. See, the word overstimulated and nervous system, that is being thrown around left and right, but they are two very important words. A lot of the things, or a lot of the reason why women are not able to curate a softer life and live more in feminine alignment is because they are overworked, overstimulated, and their nervous system is all out of whack. It's because they constantly allow other people to tell them what to be and how to be instead of choosing who they should be as women. When you get off the rat reel of constantly racing around and being there for everyone else constantly, and I'm not saying that you should not care about other people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be there to serve and to help when needed. But I am saying that you don't need to neglect yourself in order to do that. And you don't need to kiss someone's backside out of fear that their life is in your hands. A lot of women do not live a more softer life because they are afraid of everything. That brings me to the next point. When you are the kind of woman that leans into her femininity and you curate a softer life for yourself, you don't have all this fear and anxiety pent up on the inside of you. You don't have a fear that things are going to fall through the cracks because you took a day off of work. You don't have a fear that your life is going to fall apart because you stood up for yourself against someone who is mistreating you. Anxiety and fear is one of the things that also hold women back from living a more softer life. When you are always worried about something, you can't truly live a more softer and peaceful life. And I say this as a woman who struggled with anxiety heavily back in 2016, 2015. I went through anxiety and panic attacks and all of that because I felt that I needed to be in control of everything. Not until I released and surrendered to the Lord. That's the way I see it. I released and surrendered to the Lord. And I'm not saying I don't have moments of anxiety from time to time, but that over anxiousness, that fear, that worry, thank God I don't really have that so much anymore. I say that to say one of the major things that stop women from living a more unbothered and peaceful life is that they're always worried about something. When you start curating a life of softness, you start surrounding yourself with people who are going to help you to be able to live a softer life. Meaning, you're choosing men wisely. You're not getting in a relationship with or, marrying anyone that's not going to allow you to rest in your feminine softness. You're not taking on careers where you're going to constantly be overworked and stressed out. You're not constantly taking on tasks, whether it be in your church or whether it be, in your community, where people get to overwork you constantly. And for my spiritual girlies, you can serve God and not be stressed out and overwhelmed and overburdened. You can take on what you can handle and let your yes be yes and your no be no. That's perfectly fine. Now, how does that relate to some people that get mad because you're living a softer life, because you choose a way of softness? When people, especially women, see other women living in this power, in this feminine power, they don't understand that this level of softness and peace and unbotheredness, it's available to them too. They just have to get out of the mode of trying to impress people and trying to prove themselves to society. So these people are mad because you choose to live a more softer life. You refuse to let life weigh you down, and they don't like that. Being a woman who understands that feminine softness and leaning into your femininity, that is your right. That is a natural characteristic of being a divine feminine woman. You easily get out of that mode of feeling bad for resting. You get out of that mode of feeling like you are less than, or you're not ambitious, or you're not to be taken serious, simply because you are enjoying your peace and enjoying your rest. Don't let people make you feel bad because you are choosing to, or you want to live a more softer life. Remember that feminine softness and living softly is not tied to how much money you have. It is not tied to your financial status. It is tied to what you choose and what you want for yourself as a woman. For you, having a nice restful day can be watching a movie, ordering food, not cooking, and just resting and doing nothing. That is a form of softness, not luxury, hyper luxury, which there's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of women don't have the ability to take extravagant trips. And quiet as kept, sometimes taking trips and constant traveling, that can be exhausting. The packing and the planning and all of that, and then the excursions and those kind of things. That can necessarily be soft, but sometimes it's more of a burden than actual enjoyment. So divine feminine women, we enjoy true softness, true peace, being able to just rest our mind, our body, our spirit. And there are some people, because they don't have that kind of rest, they don't want that for you either. Don't let anyone else's jealousy and envy cause you to feel as if you're doing something wrong by valuing your body, your mind, and your spirit because you're choosing to rest. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the cute little butterfly emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.